guys, it's Janie. Welcome back to the Bookworm's Buddy. It is time for Tackle My TBR. So again, this last week, I finished 2 books, which, it's pretty good. I think I found that balance now. So let's just get right into it. The first book that I finished was Speak No Evil by Liana Gardner. I got this book from the Bookworm box when we went and visited in October to Sulphur Springs. And the Bookworm box is kind of Hoover's bookstore. It's all charitable, and she helps out other authors by having their books in there. And all the books are signed. So yeah, it's a really, really nice place. So if you ever find yourself in Sulphur Springs, Texas, go visit the Bookworm box. Anyway, this book, Speak No Evil, it was a little disappointing to me. I think there was some huge issues in the book, like huge issues that go on today. This is the foster system. And you guys remember I told you I didn't know what the significance of the snakes were. Well, it is because the snakes were involved due to religious background of the parents, and also they were part Cherokee, so I'm thinking that played a huge role into it as well. But as I said before, Melody, who is our main character, she has a pretty decent life with her mom and her dad, and they're snake handlers, and she has got an ability of singing to the snakes, and they won't harm her. Like, I guess you could call her a snake charmer. But, her singing would take her much further than just that. She's got this amazing voice. And then when things happen and she finds herself in the foster care system, this is where the story begins to focus, and she is in the foster care system, and things happen, and that's pretty much the story. I found some things in it to be a little unrealistic, and when I'm reading a book about something that is like a huge issue in our country or in the world even, I would like it to be a little bit more realistic. I realize that it's fiction, but some things just weren't very believable for me. I did like her character. I liked Melody's character. I found that she was pretty strong, a lot stronger than she thought she was, and I'm not going to get into the way like she dealt with things and stuff like that, because I think that gives away too much to the story. But yeah, she did go through a lot of stuff, and I just didn't buy a lot of things. I'm sure you understand what I'm saying. So I ended up rating this 3.5 stars. It did have a decent wrap-up. The ending had a decent wrap-up, and a lot of questions get answered and stuff like that. But yeah, it's not something I would probably read again, but it wasn't the worst book I've read. So 3.5 stars for that one. The next book that I read was His and Hers by Alice Feeney, and this was something, you guys. The first book that I read by her was Rock, Paper, Scissors. If you remember, I read that back in, it was October or November, one of those two. And that one really threw me for a loop. And this one was pretty much the same. We're following Anna and we're following Jack. Now, they are a divorced couple. And Anna, she is a news reporter, and Jack is a investigator. And a woman gets murdered in Blackdown, but it's a quintessential British village. And the story kind of surrounds the woods that are in this area. But anyway, Jack starts to suspect Anna a little bit just because of some of the things she's saying or doing, or that kind of stuff. He starts to suspect her a little bit. He can't understand how she already knows things and how she knows them before he knows about them and stuff like that. So he starts to suspect her, and she's really not wanting to cover the case. And there's reasons for all of this as you read the book. And then Jack all of a sudden becomes a suspect in his own investigation. So there's a lot of ups and downs. It's definitely a roller coaster ride. And I found myself trying to guess stuff, then I'm like, no, that's too obvious. Oh, but sometimes I take obvious things, and generally if it's a little too obvious, then you've got it wrong. And I had it wrong several times. The book wrapped up beautifully. I still felt like there was some unanswered things going on in there, and I don't know, but it was definitely a psychological thriller, I can tell you that. Also, Jack has a detective beneath him, and her name is Priya, and she works alongside Jack, and I'm sorry, but Priya was a little annoying to me. I really did not like her at all. So anyway, I ended up rating this. I think I rated this 4 stars. I didn't like it as much as I liked Rock, Paper, Scissors, but it was still really good, and I'm really starting to enjoy Alice Feeney's writing, so I may have to check into it. I think I have a couple more of her books on my Kindle. I don't know. But yeah, so I finished that one, and then I picked up Kingdom of the Curse by Carrie Maniscalco. As you guys know, this is book 2 to the trilogy. I think it's a trilogy. Don't quote me on that. Because the 3rd book just came out last year in 2022. So don't quote me on that, this being a trilogy. It could be far bigger than that. But I picked this one up yesterday. I mean, just look at these end pages, you guys. They're beautiful. Beautiful. I picked it up yesterday, and I just read this very beginning part yesterday, and it said, let me get there. It said there sometime before, and this was only like a couple 3 pages, and wow, I read that, and I was just like, I can't wait to get into the story. So that is my read for this week. And then whenever my treadmill read will be, I'll choose something off my Kindle for that. Maybe another Alice Feeney book. I don't know. We'll see what happens. What have you guys been reading this last week? What did you finish? Let me know in the comments below. But that's it for me today, guys. Thanks for staying tuned, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.